Brings which one is broadcast. Okay, this is so this goes the Mayans, the sky, an Aztec third dimension. Of course, the Aztec was very third dimension for its time. It brought in a lot of lower frequencies from all parts of the universe. You can say it's another part of the seeding process of as we go into a lower frequency. Of course, there's a positive side somewhere involved with it, but so I'm going to tap into the Mayan energies the best we can here. Just had some technical difficulty here. I would just do the short version this time. So this is I'm not sure what this is. I haven't talked to Comic Private Sessions. I have a shop here on I don't remember the 10th. I just say the 10th. Something around those lines. Okay, I'll just say that. Yeah, most of my USBs and all this. The camera wasn't working. My mic wasn't working, so it's all working now. Who knows what happened with that? All right, so Mayan energies. Actually, I'm going to do it. Tap into their vibrations, basically bring an energy into it, but I'm not going to go all the way in. Well, we'll see where this goes. Okay. All right. So yeah, the old style, and we'll see where else we go from there. Basically, I felt they have a message. That's basically what this is about. Greetings. We are Mayan consciousness. Yes, creating timelines for you to find yourselves, to create the reality that you wish. So our civilization was developed to create your civilization. Basically, a place where downloads can be done as the earth glows its frequencies, as the mind vibrations, yes, at once is very high, but slowly turn to a physical realm like yours. That was very electric at one time, and still is, but at a third dimensional level. So the Mayans and others are involved with just basically assisting with the transition as you go into more of a third dimensional experience. And there's many other places here that do the same, but they're not speaking at this time. They don't want it to be known that well. So the Mayan calendar is a version of where your world is going to go, but not the complete version. It is just a guideline as you discover more of yourselves. So it's up to you to develop. As timelines constantly shift, there is no definite future for you. Well, as a collective, it's more difficult, as you know, to have a definite future. But there are main timelines here that I've already planted here of what's going to happen. How you get there is another story. And who's going to help you? Because many do fail here, as you can tell. There's a lot of failure on this planet. There's also a lot of success. Beings that fail just have given to their own failures to sabotage themselves. Basically, success, not all of them want success. Doesn't mean if you don't want success, that is a failure, but just some just rather just be low-key. So many have chosen an incarnation to move you into another timeline, to shift your vibrations, but some can't handle it. They thought they could, but it's like, you know what? I'm just going to live a normal life instead. I'm not going to go deeper as I thought I was going to. So there are many more incarnations to bring that vibration through. Meaning it takes a while for someone else to take the place of that person. That is our message at this time. Greeks. Yeah, Greeks. Yeah, the cats are here somewhere, tearing the place apart. So, in the background, yeah, they've learned how to climb walls. Of course, that doesn't go too well, but they do it anyway. Yeah, wall climbing cats. That's what I have here. Of course, you don't see them in the background. Well, we're working on that for future I won't call it entertainment, future education of cats climbing walls. So yeah, stay tuned. That'll be sometime next month. Yeah, sometime in August. All right. So the energy from the sky. Might actually tap into that. Might do another channeling of that also. Well, the sky has many voices, many eyes. That's creepy. Many impressions of your reality. Some of you have been sky people, basically beings that can fly. And there are elemental beings that are in the skies at this time. They're just not seen by your reality. Just to, yes, to make it rain, to, shift the energies through wind. So there are wind beings here. They do show them like, well, for a third dimensional point of view, like they have horns and they blow on the horn and it starts to wind energy. Listen up. Of course, that's very mythical, part of like something out of Greek mythology, which that's more of a higher astral energy there. But yes, you are shifting into a more higher fourth dimensional level. That's why the world is eating itself in some areas, not all places, but places that need to be purged, places need to be opened for new energies to shift across the planet, basically for new ideas, new realms, or timelines. So the old timelines have to retire. So old timelines have to be retired. So old structures have to go away. So yes, the structure like we got destroyed in Germany. Yeah, you tap into everyone that is keeping our physical realm as it is. So there's a lot to learn there. Let's see. And it goes on and on with that without getting too controversial here. With the Aztec energies, let's see what we get from that. I have to probably bring. Yeah, I'll bring their. I don't think I've probably connected to it one time. It's been a while. Okay, we'll do the same thing with the Mayans. We'll do it with the Aztec. Never mind that. We are Aztec. We force our energies onto the world. We are forgers of your reality. We did die of disease, but we seeded our energies into the earth. As we die, we become part of the earth, become elemental energies. So you leave the physical, you go into the non-physical, but many incarnate through the Agarthian, the inner earth, and continue their incarnations there, as many are tapped in that vibration. Basically, you're bringing in the stronghold of this physical realm and bringing it into the middle earth vibration. And you just have knowledge of, you can tell stories of your third dimensional experience, even if it's mundane, as boring as some might seem, but either way, it's a lot of beings are amazed that you made it through it. So you'd be surprised how many of you do take some time and tell the world of your experiences. But the Aztec vibration is one of the lessons that needed to be learned. It's like a reset of the planet, of new knowledge to be brought here for the human journey. Humans are still having trouble connecting to themselves, believing in themselves. And many are actually sabotaging it so others can't learn. So, but there's going to be eventually a lot of exposing not just of all areas of reality. Police, spirituality, not extended as some might want, but basically the truth will has already surfaced, but more of that will surface even deeper. And that's when the frequencies of the earth begin to shift. So some would not want to know what's really happening here, but you're warning through that experience of not knowing. And it has a purpose. Even if you feel like it has no purpose, it does have a purpose, as difficult as it is. We are shifting into more of a higher frequency. It just takes time to reach it. So, well, once you tap into the higher frequencies, you obviously look at this planet and it's like, what were we thinking? But because the lifetimes here seems to be so long, it's so agonizing. But once you're in the higher frequencies, it all makes sense. And of course, many dive in for more to reincarnate. So death is sometimes cheating, where you have to leave, because many like the journey truly is being alive, as many know. Being here is the education. Leaving is easy. Dying is easy, as you've heard, yes. But living is a whole nother story. Yes. Living is the crystallization of the soul. It is you upgrading yourself the hard way by going into your fears, phobias, and your just the ugly of yourself. To even have yourself look ugly here is a temperament. It truly is. It's like, why don't you just lay it all out? Just be, not to make yourself miserable, but what you're working on. And looks are obviously extremely deceiving on your planet. And that is the next lesson of your world. There are major lessons, actually world lessons, where the whole world learns one lesson. Literally, you might not see it here. It's difficult to tap into, but it's there. Like handling fear, releasing it. Doesn't mean all of you are experiencing it at the same level. Some of you have overcome those fears, but still others are holding on to it for dear life. Like many need a roller coaster for adventure, but they're not ready to dive into themselves and find what kind of unusual lifetimes they have had, such as a being with 6 fingers or 3 fingers for that matter, or 2 heads, or whatever it might be. So many do, after they exit this world, it's like, wow, I really took the easy road, didn't I? And some can live with regret with that for quite some time and avoid a hard incarnation because they're so busy just trying to get over the regret of having it easy. Let's see. The air conditioner is busted from like 5 years ago, so trying to get it fixed. Also, the Aztec is part of longevity. Of course, a lot of your elite Illuminati energies are connected to Aztec energies, especially. So your positive energies of your elite here are more Mayan, and the negative is more part of Aztec. Of course, you can look at that. There's also positive Aztec, of course. And negative Mayans are more like your wizards and things like that, magicians. Let's see. So, where are we going into here? Oh, yes. I was going to do another remote viewing, actually. It's not in the title. Let's see. Let's see who's around first. Well, it was always Palladium, but we'll go into. Oh, we'll go into the Archons. How about that? They're such a joyous subject matter for humanity. Okay, so remote viewing and Archon energy. Instantly, yes, the architecture of churches, but not all. A lot of cathedrals, but not all of them. But also the third dimensional eye. They're there to obviously focus you on this reality, to disconnect. I mean, they're designed. Archons are designed to shut you off from the spirit realms. And when you go into astral, you can actually deactivate it. And but at the right time. It's like when you hear when it's like people aren't ready to leave the matrix or leave this reality, or they're not ready for a certain type of knowledge. So we always have power to turn the lights on. It's just not always time for it. I do feel also a super soldier energy there. Of course, you have multiple different realities here. And this, you can say even the super soldier realities are a mixed bag. There's like some are helping us and some are trying to deter us. Some like chaos in other realms. So some people that are very like working out and things like that in this realm, a lot of them are super soldiers in other realities. Um, and some of them are aware of their human lifetime here. Is like, wow, I'm super buffed. I'm not going to wake myself up. I'm having too much fun being that person. At least that's the vibe I'm getting there. So there are other versions of us aware of us, not necessarily in the astral, but other realities, other versions of Earth, etc. So yeah, we're kind of battling ourselves, you can say. Well, in some regard, yeah. It all depends on the person, but some of us want to awaken, but we're not ready to awaken. So if you feel like you're ready to awaken, but you're not awakening to your energy or knowledge, a lot of times it has to do with family members or friends that you're connected to that aren't ready for you to change. They're not ready to have you leave or whatever, change or shift your vibration. They're just not ready for you to be a different person. So it's another reason why we just kind of scale ourselves back and just hold on to, and learn whatever lessons that we need to be learned here, whatever that might be. Maybe fix air conditioners or manifest one. Yeah. Sore subject there. um, oh yeah, the Archons. Yeah, the Archons I believe are I mean, there's positive negatives to everything. They're just kind of, I wouldn't call them mischief beings, but I mean they are kind of AI. It all depends. Some are AI, some are biological type, like insectoid type beings, things like that. Either way, they're part of our reality, and we're here to unlock it little by little. Let's see. We're gonna go back in time a little bit. 2016 was kind of like a Zeta Gray healing year for aliens to be healed, especially the Zetas. Um, Meaning that always what I feel from that is, which I've never seen that before. So as we were connecting to the alien beings, for them to be seen here, we're working on their karma, working on their issues, and Zetas have a lot of issues here. I mean, they're known to build motherships, also build AI beings that are just nuts. Different type of robotic societies, whatever it might be, DNA, of course, even to weaponize the DNA. The reptilians play a big role in why we are shut down, which is also connecting us to like the reptilian Egyptian. It's not just the Anunnaki that shut us down, but a lot of the Egyptians shut us down due to where we're heading. Now it's more like the elite, the corruption that took over it, and just took us into a whole new level. So yeah, the alien just passed by back to that. What is she doing back there? Trying to break out. Oh, anyway, lost my concentration with that one. Alien invasion. Yeah. What was there? Yeah. Oh yeah, with the Egyptians. Yeah. So the corrupt elite, well, they like their money, they like their lifestyle, and they like it though just for them and not for everybody else. So they play a big role in everything being the way it is today. Of course, they're very modernized. A lot of them are in. So they connected to like um, Romans to change their DNA. So they look more less Egyptian. Um, Roman, Roman Germans. I feel there's a lot of German Egyptian connections there, where they can hide their identity. I know that sounds a little bit weird there, but maybe not. So yeah, I just don't have a bunch of Egyptians running the planet. You have a bunch of normal looking people, whatever that means, so they can get away with it easier. And Germany is a major place for elite founding, definitely. The Illuminati was founded in 1776, but probably more to than that. Yeah, just Egyptian, German Egyptians, you could say. Whereas Egyptian knowledge has been buried for obvious reasons. I was going to go somewhere else with that, but I think I got taken away. Yeah, I was going somewhere else with that, but it just got vaporized. Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, I can't imagine. Can't imagine why. On that one. Let's see here. We are going to 4 and 5D energy, but yeah, I would say expect more whistleblowers, especially in the tech industry, start opening up more. Maybe not this year. Well, maybe some. For like the next 5 years, more people are going to come out about the tech industry of how where is corruption. It's not all corrupt. Just Google might take a big hit, possibly due to higher ups abusing their power. Yeah, great. Yeah, there's some kind of AI energies that some of these tech companies are building that is kind of frightening for public viewing, public knowledge. Like an actual robot is what I feel that they're working on. At least a humanoid robot. It doesn't mean it's humanoid, like skin and all that, but if this is like some of the tech, they're not saying which one, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but yeah, they're just not making it known. They're going to keep it as primitive as they can for right now. Let's see here. Of course, they have the Amazon Echo. Apparently, at least I might be wrong about that. There's a lot of, I guess, there's a lot of disinformation about that, but it does seem like it still hasn't perfected its whole voice recognition thing, where it does listen to things it probably should not be listening to, but it's not perfect yet. So parts of it are always listening. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of creepy when you think about it, but it seems like that's kind of the future we're going into, where more things are going to be voice activated. We're kind of in the Stone Age version of that, but that's going to be the future. But it will be more perfected in the future, where it will be less abused. But we're kind of going through, like the dark age of cars and everything else. So I mean, look at cell phones in the early stage of flip phones and all that's kind of a nightmare. So the more the when you're talking to your refrigerator or your stove or whatever, it become more perfected, where it's not listening to everything you're talking about. It is actually looking for keywords. Right now, I think it's kind of impossible to get 100% accurate right now, but it will eventually. Does it matter? I don't know. Somebody might care. One person might care. Yeah, keep the creepy going. Yeah, keep it as creepy as possible. Yeah, AI invasion. So connect to Mother Earth's vibration. Kind of do a remote view of that. Of course, yeah, she's a very loving energy, very understanding. She wants to know all perspectives, all energies, no matter who you are. She wants to see your flaws. She wants to see how flawed a person can be, to learn how to perfect it, to learn how to help heal it. It's like letting a soul open itself out. Here's all my problems. Here's everything. Now what? And there have been many people that actually incarnate as a Mother Earth human here on this world. I mean, there's other aspects of Mother Earth here on different levels. And that'd be more fully understand as we basically we're right now healing a lot of course, you don't see it happening. You don't see anything happening. But we are actually healing the world's problems if you don't see it. Because you're not putting up with it. A lot of people are just not putting up with it. Anything in the news and all, they're just not putting up with it, all this. And you put the vibration out there, and other people are kind of fighting with it and things like that. But for basically many people are working for a better Earth. And obviously, it doesn't happen instantly. That would make things a lot easier, that's for sure. But it is being felt. It's just like something that would happen instantly in another reality here might take 10, 20 years, or 100 years for that matter. Yeah. Imagine if you go to a planet where you're here to just fix a problem and you just send your energy, and then people are no longer fighting with each other and just very calm and kissing each other. And you say, okay, my job's done here. It took 5 minutes and you're out of there. This will take probably 20 years to do that, maybe 50 years. I guess it all depends on where you are. If you talk about worldwide, 100 years, whatever that might have been. So obviously, race is prevalent on all planets. Well, worlds like ours, at least. But that's a growing pain. Well, also race issues. Of course, it's weaponized for us, but also it gets people to want to invent and create another race. That sounds out there, but to develop another race where it's either more bizarre that'll cause even more trouble, or one that's a little bit more in between. So I'll just leave that one out there for you. It can get kind of weird with that one, but no, it makes sense. Like those like people that are of a different race that are less ridiculed than others. Some people are a certain race, they get ridiculed by everybody, stopped by the cops and all that. It's freaking ridiculous. They didn't do anything wrong. They show any sign of any sign of just looking of successful, and then police are taking pulling them over, which shows the police have a lot of problems, obviously, with themselves. Uh, might be a more of a robotic police. That'll be. I don't think we're gonna hit that one hard, but it is being considered. So if you don't like the regular police, they just give you a machine. I mean, obviously that's been in the works for some time, but it most likely won't be successful. But they are going to integrate more of a type of robots eventually. Not yet, because it does creep a lot of people out, but yeah, we're not fully on that timeline, but there's some of it does come in here every once in a while. Like China might have it. China has it to a certain degree. China would have anything. China would have a giant robot walking around if they could. And maybe they do have one. They just haven't showed it. Let's see. Do a remote view of China's energies because of that. It feels like China's getting most of the alien visitation. It's an easier place to seed with knowledge because it's hidden by the government. The government's keeping everything hidden for the rest of the world. So it's an easier place for aliens to seed, change things around, mess with society, basically. And the rest of the world won't know about it because there's a blackout. So nothing too drastic from what we're seeing, but possibly in the future when it feels like China would be the place for aliens to start popping up. Like you might see a gray walking around. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. Yeah, you might see a gray that's lost his freaking mind running around in China, possibly. Maybe not so much reptilians anytime soon, but definitely grays. Grays are they just like the attention, I guess. They're like grays are like wild animals. Some of them are. So like a mutant child running around. That's just what everybody needs. Well, it's probably a better conversation what we have now. So obviously the news is very it's almost like the news is one dimensional. It might be two dimensional, but it feels like it's one dimensional because there's one mindset connected to it. And that is AI connected, of course. It's been manipulated on obviously multiple levels. Any alien being that wants to manipulate our reality just tap into our media and just program the person. And there's not always a control over that. Like sometimes some media people kind of black out when they're on the news and they kind of just start staring into space. Sometimes that is an alien being tapping into them, reading their vibration, see what's on their mind or whatever, seeing what they are, whatever it is. The Al Roker with the is that Weatherman had that happen? Just stare. I think he did it a couple of times. Just he's there talking with the friends, and all of a sudden he just stares out into space, like he's being hacked into. I got a cat. Can't see her. Hello. Um, let's see. What else we have? Let's see the Mayan energy. So yeah, there's many Mayans here that are connected to the future. Basically, the Mayan calendar. So not it's not just Mayan. A lot of those are ancient Atlantean beings. Basically, to help us keep on track our main timeline. Yeah, the Atlanteans are part of our main timeline, but the Mayans are very much involved with it because they're here physically, at least remembered physically. Of course, the Atlanteans aren't remembered at all, technically. So the Mayan vibrations just put out. It's like the Mayans, just for being there, is like remember us. It's like it's like we're only here for a short time. Well, I don't know if it was that short, but either way, they're still. Well, anyway, they're still around, obviously, but it's not in the form that they used to be. It's just there to put a reminder of you know that they're here in the agenda at a point. Basically, I want to say they're controlling our timeline, but they are very much involved with it, and that would become more clear over time. Or well, even timelines might start opening up where you see different types of beings, coming and going out of reality, kind of like a ghost realm, kind of like a yeah, something you would see out of a movie, basically. So you connect to the main timeline energy, and you see like potential timelines, but also see beings that are kind of architects of our, like the architects of our main timeline, and they're mostly in the fourth dimension. I think that's in the Loki show or something like that. But there's basically beings that are timeline creators, you can say. You might be able to, those might show up to some people. Like you might see an old man working on reality, on your reality, something like that. For us to learn more about ourselves, to learn the ugly of humanity. Well, it's like, yeah, get all that disgustingness out. Like we have a bunch of trash in our landfills, but we're getting the trash out of ourselves. That's easier said than done because people want to keep their trash. So people are hoarders of lower frequencies and not even aware of it. And that's more of the fourth dimension coming in. Everyone has something in, like you have a home, but you can see it physically. You have a bunch of crap everywhere, but internally you can't always see it. Well, we're not taught to look at it. But as you more see it, they'll say, well, you have this entity attached. You have Christopher Columbus connected to you. You have this and you're that. It's like when you flush all that vibrations out, you become thinner, you become higher frequency, and you become more aware of yourself. So that's the next phase we're going into. Yeah, basically, we're just talking about nothing around us, but it is something, things that you're tapping into. And that's fourth dimension is kind of like a holographic reality. This one's physical, but it is still kind of a holographic reality. So we're just tapping into the holographic reality where yeah, you can go through a wall basically and stuff like that, which doesn't mean to be on our timeline just yet, but that's what we're heading into. When is a whole other story. Get ready to hurry up and wait on that. So, all right. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Blessings.